Hello everybody and welcome to Time Traveler's Coin Exchange. So tonight we'll have something a little bit different here than we have been the last, couple weeks. We're going to have a roll of 1964 Lincoln Memorial cents. They're proof coins from mint sets. They're still in their mint cello, but they've been cut out of the set. So it's been a while since I've done one of these, and I know we've been looking at a bunch of the coins from the vault, but this is pretty much here what they look like. You know, there's 50 of them. They still all have their mint tokens, and so we'll check them out. Some of these coins, I pulled one out. It looked beautiful. Some of these are going to be better looking, and usually from the seller there are one or two ones that are like kind of sketchy looking, some environmental damage or whatnot. But let me focus myself. My camera messed up. That's better. So we might find some ugly coins in here, and we may find some beautiful ones. Sometimes we find some toned ones. But welcome everybody. Hope you guys are having a good night. So generally the way I do these is I take them all out of the bag, and I usually put them back into the bag. However, I did start to notice that opening and closing the bag every time, and so I just have one of my little boxes here, which we'll look through. And so basically, how I generally do this is, you know, we're looking for a couple different things. We're looking for like absolutely beautiful coins, like this one so far, and then so we're looking to see how many really nice coins are in the roll. I put these videos up, ones like this, where because I bought these basically to look through them so that I could get a better eye for grading. But I usually post them right back up on eBay, and then people who are wanting to bet on them knows what every coin looks like on the front and back. So generally I show the front and back, and then we will zoom in and try to see if we can find any varieties, which we definitely have here on the channel before. So here's the second one here. A couple other things you'll notice is the mint cellos. You know, they have different textures on them. When the cellos get scratched or scuffed, they become a little harder to see through, and the cello also has its own kind of cellular lines. Hey Logan's Coins, welcome. How are you tonight? Win any 1 ounce silver pieces tonight? But hello, welcome to the channel. Good to see you. And so some of these will be harder to look through than other ones. But so far these look pretty good. I found from this seller about half of the cellos are kind of like a pure white color, and then half of them are kind of like a yellow color. I feel like their collection that they got, they just kind of grab from different areas. You know, they don't give everyone all yellow, and they don't give everyone all white ones. But for the most part, these are looking pretty nice. Almost every little thing that looked like it might be on the coin just wiped right off of the cello. And so pretty good luck here. And I just sold a bunch of these too, but it's interesting, at auction, these have been going for about 2 to 3 times the price that I was buying them at. So I might not have any more of these coming. I have about 20-30 rolls from 1956 to 1964. So we've got plenty to look at, but every single time I've tried to bid on anything, the prices like they go up higher and higher each time lately. So I don't know if I I don't think I really had any impact, but it's like I bought pretty much everything I could see on the market, and then just, you know, put it up for more, because, you know, when you buy something you got to sell it for more, otherwise you lose money. And so I don't know if I influenced the price going up, or if someone else is buying them up, or people think there's value there. I don't know what's going on, but the price definitely seems to have steeply risen. This coin just glows on the front. I don't know if there's be anything on the reverse. And it's funny too, like the more of these I go through, I feel like I keep getting better and better coins. It's like, you know, this to me I feel like would look beautiful on a slab. And one thing I don't think I've ever looked for, and I don't know if the cellos make it harder, but I'd love to be able to like find some cameo coins in here. If anybody is watching and you guys see like a beautiful cameo coin, and for whatever reason I'm like, worrying about, I'm usually looking at the fields, I'm usually looking for scratches or imperfections, and I just totally don't take that moment to look for a cameo coin. Maybe a better setup, maybe having things set up under the light differently would be better to look for cameo. Maybe cameo is harder to spot in a mint cello. I'm not really sure, but for whatever reason, I've never like looked at a coin and been like, oh my gosh, that's a beautiful cameo coin. Maybe, like silver coins and stuff, maybe Washingtons and Franklins and stuff are easier to see the cameo finish than the Lincoln cent is. But I'm pretty happy with these here. And I don't know, I paid off my big loan that I took off that I had just bought. I probably bought like 500 coins from it in the last 2 months. It took me maybe the last 5 weeks. And so pretty much all those have come in. There's still maybe 30, 40, 50 in the mail. But so I'm either going to do one of two things here for the channel. I'm either going to buy a ton more coins and I'm just going to buy out some markets on eBay, or I'm going to take a bunch of coins like the ones I'm showing you tonight, and instead of selling the rolls up on eBay, I'm just going to send them all in bulk and see what PCGS says. I don't know, it definitely interests me. I've been talking about doing the bulk grading twice so far. I've been like, I'm going to do it. And then the pandemic happened, the first time I had enough money to do it. And then this last time, I think I just went gung-ho buying early proof coins. And it was a lot of fun. Now I have a lot of early proof coins, but I don't have any early proof coins to send in to get graded. So it's proof coins from the 50s that's going to have to do proof coins from the 60s. I think that's probably where I do my grading, is in proofs, just because I really like them. I have a bunch of proof mint sets now, and so I could get some, Franklins and stuff graded too. That would be fun. That would be a fun experiment all around. If I send, 20 of the same proofs set, I can basically do the pennies, dimes, nickels, silver. Yeah, I can get some silver graded. And I'm not sure if it's going to come in tomorrow, but I won an auction of 36 silver quarters, 1957s. I got 36 of them graded by PCGS, and they're all 60, proof 65 and proof 66s. But I'm pretty excited about that. I got them at a really good price, and so I'm definitely not going to be running out of 1957 proof quarters for a while. Kind of have that year covered now, so that'll be nice. And they're silver. I pretty much got them in a graded slab for their silver price. Not a bad deal at all. I wish I could buy silver and PCGS slabs for spot price all the time. It'd be really, really awesome. But it seems like silver and gold seem to keep kind of going up a little bit, kind of going down. It seems like they're just kind of chilling out, having a good time where they're at right now. So I'm going to do what I always do. Besides trying to take over the world, I'm going to buy and sell coins, because that's really what I enjoy doing. But it's kind of interesting getting into quarters and half dollars and Roosevelts and Mercury dimes, because they are silver, and at least I'll have a little bit. I know everyone else that's stacking just plain silver is probably going to have more. But at the same time, by the time you're buying an American Silver Eagle, it seems like they have such a premium on them, you might as well buy an old Morgan or something. I feel like that's where I'd rather have it, but everybody's different. Get some water. So we're gonna have like a ton of rolls upcoming here in the next month or two. Pretty much have like 1956 to 1964 just like covered pretty strong. I was gonna try to get more so we could just, do one a week forever. Maybe the market will open up. Maybe there will be someone will put like a huge collection up one week. It's just so hard to tell sometimes. Like people will be listing a bunch of them, and it'll seem like there's going to be rolls of proofs forever, and then one day they just stop, and it's like, okay, that person didn't have a billion of them. They just had a lot, and then like there's none up for 6 months, and then somebody lists a bunch of them. It's just interesting. Like the supply comes in waves, and so when there's a big wave, you buy up as much of it as you can, and it seems like it's going to go on forever. And then it dries up, and then you get to sell, 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 and hopefully more comes by. But I'd say I'm absolutely happy with these mint Cellos so far. Every one has been like perfectly acceptable. Cello on this one is really thick. Almost looks like it's like double cello. I feel like the first couple times I did episodes of here, I had to really work to get the light just right so that I could, show all the detail of the coins. But I was making my PCGS videos before the show here, and this is just how it was set up pretty much. That one's got a couple spots on it. But I definitely expect to have spots on the coins when I get them. Like I'd probably say on average when I buy when I buy a roll of these, like about 10 out of 50 probably have like, pretty good spots. And then like one or two, they're just like done. They're toasted. I don't know once a coin has a bunch of green on it and not a happy green, I really don't know what you do with them, where they go. In some really fun bag. So it'll be interesting to look for varieties. It looked like copper coins. It looks like, I feel like every time I go there, it seems like stuff is a little bit more updated. There's like a couple more really nice varieties and stuff. It seems like the variety prices have been getting updated better. Yeah, I definitely, I think I bought a couple Morgans, but they both sold. So I'll have to get some more. It seems like the price of Morgans at like around MS63, 64, they seem to hold pretty much solid at the same place, and it seems like they've been there for years. But if silver does keep going up, they seem like a place where pretty much if silver rises, it's gonna like push up the bottom of them. But I feel like if silver goes down, I feel like it'll just stay there. So it kind of feels like I've always kind of been like, well, I can buy Morgans, but they're not really going to go for higher. They seem like a harder coin to sell for more than around 40 bucks. But at the same time, I feel like right now might be a really interesting opportunity with them. I feel like they might be ready to break what they've been at. And I know that there's a lot of them out there. I know they minted a ton, and there's a ton in like pretty nice condition. To me, it's just interesting that how like older coins like that are 100 years old can like still only be worth like $30-40, and they're silver, and they're beautiful, and they feel like real money in your hands. little spot on this one. I watched a video, just the random, go onto YouTube and like it recommends a video. It was like some guy on the street trying to hand 100-ounce bar of gold to, like, trying to sell it to people, and basically being like, "Here, I'll sell you this 100-ounce bar for $100." And the people are like, "No thanks, I don't know what I'd do with silver." And he's like, 50. And they're like, "No." And it's like by the time he starts to get to 25, they just look suspicious, like, "I got somewhere I gotta go. Sorry, man, I gotta go." It was kind of humorous. It was just amazing, like how, I mean, half of the people, I sense, like, just had no idea, they were like, "What would I do with silver?" And the guy was like, "Well, you could use it as a paperweight." And the people would be like, "Well, I could probably buy like a $2 paperweight." Um, so it was just funny. It was like 100-ounce Engelbert or whatever they are, like a really nice bar. And he was standing in front of like a coin in a pawn shop too. So if anyone wanted to have it checked out, they could just like go inside and be. He was like, "Yeah, we can go inside there. They can tell you if it's legit or not." Nobody bought it. I mean, maybe it was messing around. Like, I mean, it's a YouTube show, so maybe people were saying yes, and you just didn't film that part. And it's like, yeah, you wish, and then turn off the camera and edit it out. But I know it didn't make people look so smart. Now there's a bunch of people probably selling like tungsten silver coated 100-ounce bars, and people are like, "Oh, I saw this guy on TV, I'll buy one," and they like spend $100 on some tungsten. And so I just have the one roll here pulled out tonight for the bonus stream. Generally, when I do these rolls of mint cellos, I just look at one roll and then I make a video and put them up for sale on eBay. And so I think that's what we're doing tonight. And then I can do another bonus stream for you guys tomorrow as well. And maybe some days this weekend we can look through more than one roll. I know I have a lot of the same rolls, especially when we get down into the wheat pennies. I think I have like 8 rolls of 1957 proofs. So those should be nice to look through. The ones that I looked through were like the nicest proof coins I've ever seen in my life. Like it was like I did one video of one, and then I didn't. I was gonna post it on YouTube, or I was gonna post it on eBay after I did it. I was just like, these are the nicest proof coins I've ever seen. I don't want to sell them. I was gonna put them up for a high price on eBay, and I was just like, no, I want to get them graded. I've never seen proofs that look this nice before. And so I kind of want to get those graded, and then I assume that all the other ones that came in the same lot were the same quality, so it will be really interesting to see. But if I could get some like proof 68s or better out of that roll, I don't know what the odds are. I mean, there's not many of them out there, that's for sure. But I wish I'd started buying up these like mint cellos and mint cellos and mint sets and stuff a while ago. Like especially like the early proof coins. I wish it's like when I was like started to buy like bulk wheat cents and stuff, I just went for quality and just bought like the nicest stuff that I could find. But sometimes you have to make a few million mistakes before you learn. Not all of us have, perfect sense and do everything right the first time. And these mint cellos, for the most part, were me doing something completely different than what I normally do too, so I'm pretty happy with them. Like, what I like about the mint cello is, like, the coin hasn't been cleaned, that there's not going to be any fingerprints on it, except for like from you know, a mint employee, which how many of the like 70s and 80s have we looked at where there's just like the biggest fingerprint right inside the mint cello. Um, it always makes me laugh and sad because almost every time there's a big fingerprint on the coin, it's like the nicest looking business strike I've ever seen. And it's like that's all I can imagine the mint employee was thinking too. It's like, wow, look at that one. Here, let me put down my sandwich and go and pick it up. And then the coin's toast. But it's like, I know I can get like rolls of proofs for cheaper, but every time I bought like just a plain roll where they've all been taken out of their mint cellos, the coins always like they have scratches on them, they have fingerprints on them. There's just like a million things that happen to coins. Like, I mean, I feel like coins even get damaged in the mint cellos. Like, you know, if you watch these videos before, we've had plenty of coins inside the mint cello that have environmental damage. You know, they can even get like cello damage where like the cello kind of sticks to the coin itself. It's no good. In my opinion here, that these mint cellos are in excellent condition. It's like I kind of wonder what all the silver looked like that were attached to all these 1964s. If they're in as nice of condition as these Lincolns were, I bet they were really nice. So I like it on this angle, it just looks all like fiery. Yeah, this seller, this one's the most spotted one of the night. The seller that I got these from, it seems like they're still selling them, but it's like they only sell like a roll maybe like once every other week. While before, when I first started buying them, they were just like selling them, selling them, selling them. Okay, that was the seller. I was like seeing those like weird lines that kind of went. I know this one has some carbon spots on it. But I went and looked at copper coins before and checked out the different varieties for this, and there definitely looked like there were quite a few for the 1964, and most of them had pretty good prices attached to the variety. And so I wanna assume that that means that we're not gonna find one. But if we do, it would probably, you know, pay for the roll and then some. And it's like if you find a nice variety, then the roll is pretty much paid for normally. And then you still have a nice roll of coins. Looks like most of the rest of these are really nice bright white cello. It seems like the cello, I don't know if it's environmental, I don't know if it's like smokers. I definitely noticed that, you know, some things like in smoking homes or just like really damp homes, they kind of get a yellowish tinge, and I feel like even the cello plastic is not immune to that kind of stuff. I mean, maybe it's a little bit of sunlight, maybe it just happens naturally. It's always amazing though when you see some of these and they're just like, you know, they're pure white. They're like 50 years old, more than 50 years old, and they still look like brand new. Like you could, if it was like a sandwich bag plastic, you could still put a sandwich in it and it'd still look appetizing in it. Yeah, I think right now is like the first time pretty much in months that I don't have any mint cellos coming in the mail. The only ones I have are the ones that I have bought. There was like a 1968, I think, or maybe it was this, can't remember what the date, 19, maybe it was 1965, like a special mint set roll, but I was bidding on something else and missed it today, which is silly because I don't have one and it should have been the priority. I could have been doing a 65 for you guys here in a couple of days. I don't think I've done a roll of mint cellos from the special mint set, so it kind of would have been cool. At the same time, you guys practically have seen an entire roll because I bought so many proof memorial. Like I think I bought like 300-400 like proof Lincoln memorials like in high grade earlier this year, graded by PCGS. Most of them were like proof 67, 68, and 69. I'd say this mint cello probably, and I guess that's the other thing I haven't been showing you guys, and this mint cello is like the worst condition, but all of these have the mint token in them as well. It's basically, you know, the whole part of the mint set, just cut off the end, which I like. I don't think the mint tokens have any value. And the interesting thing too is like they didn't have to, but every single one of these mint cellos, they cut into the mint cello, compromising it, but then they cut into the mint token too. And it's like, I don't know if these things will ever become worth money, but basically they destroyed every single one, like on purpose. I mean, I can't imagine, like it would be easy to miss them, or, you know, by the time you're cutting everything off, it doesn't make sense why they would do it. But, I mean, I guess they're kind of worthless, but they kind of look cool. I would have thought that people would, you know, just take that like 1/10 of a second to not do that, but to me it looks like it's deliberate because it's like basically every single one has a cut, and they just barely snip it too. It's not like they snip it in half, and I don't know if it's like a way for them to like be like, okay, this is my coin and not rebuy it or something. Like sometimes I see people, you know, some of the mint cellos will have like one corner with like just a little tiny cut off of it. Some of them will have like a little square corner cut into it. And it's like, I feel like different people who go through mint cellos and go through mint sets and even slabbed coins, they have like little ways that they leave a mark on the coin. Hey Numismatic Sam, welcome to the stream. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're having a good night. And so it's interesting to me just how like people will leave like little marks on coins or coin packaging. And sometimes I try to like think of like, oh, why would they do this? Is there a reason? And sometimes I have no idea what the reason is. Little tiny carbon spot on the coin there. So we got about, I don't know, less than 10 of them left here, and then we'll zoom in, see if we can find any varieties. I just always like to look at the coins first to see kind of what the quality that I'm dealing with is, and also if I'm, you know, if I'm putting a video up on eBay so that people can see what the coins look like. This is normally what they want to see, you know, and then the variety hunters, you know, if they came to see the coins, then they want to see if there's anything in it. And I don't know everything. You know, I don't think there is anyone who knows every single variety. So when I make these videos as well, people that are out there can, you know, look at the coins up close And if they see something that they know is worth money, then they're pretty much just made money by watching the video, because the coins will be for sale after we make the video. And generally I put the coins up for sale the next morning, because normally I do this at night. And then the next day when I have time, I'll take a bunch of photos of like 12 coins. Usually I just take the first 12 coins and take a picture of the front, and then tell people, if you want to see the front and back, check out the video I made of it. You can see them all up close under a microscope with light on them from different angles. I mean, if I was to buy a bunch of coins, like if I was to buy a roll of coins, I'd want to see it this way. When I buy these, I just get to usually see like a picture of like a sandwich bag with a bunch of coins in it. And I have no idea what they're going to look like. It would be awesome if I could go to shows and stuff and basically see all the coins, you know, like kind of like finger through them. It seems like it would be awesome. But that's not the world I live in, and I don't think anyone's really living in that world lately. I do think there are coin shows going on, though. I do see people posting. I know Chris Tisdale went to a coin show like a month ago and posted a video. And the only reason that I could tell that it was like recent was everyone was wearing masks. Doesn't seem like the best place to be. If I was like an older coin dealer, I wouldn't want to be selling my coins and possibly getting sick. I'd just be like, you know, taking a vacation and selling online. But I know it's a lifestyle for a lot of people too. And it's good to get out there and, you know, do stuff. It's like the moment you stop moving, sometimes is the moment everything goes downhill. Alright, just a couple left, and then we shall zoom in and hopefully find something cool. So there did look like there was stuff to look for on the back and the front as well. It looked like the E pluribus and States of America, and then there was like also notching in 1 cent. Hey Blue Sandy, welcome. On the front, how are you doing tonight, Blue Sandy? It looked like on the front of them, like the L in Liberty was like a great place to find different varieties, at least for like double die. And maybe I should flip through there really quickly too. There was only 4 pages and most of them were business strikes. But these coins here look really nice, Blue Sandy and Numismatic Sam and Logan's coins. Just give me 1 second, let me just double check these. And I wish I could I need to just ask Chuck, say, hey, is it okay if I totally show off your site and show everyone how wonderful it is and show how to use it? I'm sure he'd be down, but I just feel like I can't. I should do that tomorrow. Alright, I think I remember. Let's look at one more. Alright, friends. Let's get to it. Alright, so I don't think I have the light on. Let's get bright. Here, I'm going to take all these back out of our nice little box. I haven't done this. Gosh, it feels like a month now at least. That feels like forever. let's see if we can. That's funny, it was like totally focused, and then as soon as I move, I think I'm just too far in. Yeah, there's like different parts that have different focus. I'm gonna have to get used to this to just give me. We've been looking at pretty much all business strike coins too. Little bottom of the R there looks interesting. And the U. And so like when I look at like 50 of these, you know, like all in a row, I feel like we start to find, is that like a notch in the S? Oh no, that looks like a notch in the top of the S and the bottom of the S. And in the T, I just need to adjust. I feel like the one that was pretty doubled on the reverse, I feel like America was even better. Like that kind of looks like a notch at the corner of the A. Definitely a notch up at the top of the E. Okay, I think we found a double die on the first coin. Do I just need to adjust my camera here? I think there was one that I was looking at, and it was basically the entire reverse had doubling on it of some sort. Can't focus there. But yeah, I might need to go, and I think the E pluribus unum had some mean doubling on it too, like was some of the best doubling. Which I'm not really seeing. I also feel like the focus is a little funny. I want to say there's like notching in the top left corner, but the light is not letting me have it. Let's go back up here after kind of being around the coin. I mean, that S looks super notched. Look at that bottom one there, and the E's, and the N, and the E. All right, here I'm gonna put this one down. I'm gonna go back over to copper coin so I can see if maybe we can see which one this was. Wasn't there there was just some like very, very mild stuff on the front? It's not that. Not that. Sorry, you guys are all, it's all out focus too, isn't it? But it'll be worth it if I can find it for you guys. I'm not seeing it. Alright, here I want to take one more look here at the front. And then the back as well. I mean, I definitely feel like I see a notch up at the top of the M and the E there, and the S and the R and the I. Like, it's clear notching. It's not like, it doesn't look like machine damage. So we'll put that one aside anyway, and we'll look, who knows, maybe every single one will look doubled to me. Yikes. Can we see through, please? Let's move this. Sometimes it just takes a little movement to get to that first one. Was so clear to look through. I think there was one or two that were just, no, this one, it's funny, this one looks beautiful when I look down on the mint cello. I think I'd even forgotten that how bad they could be. The first time I tried to make videos of mint cellos, I was kind of like, maybe this wasn't a good idea. Focus a little bit. Yeah, normally I feel like I can just kind of move. We'll see, we'll get a feel for these ones here. But normally I feel like I can just kind of move in a nice pattern. And I know that there is a, it looked like there was like maybe like a triple die on the initials. And maybe we can go through those at some time. I find it, like, with my microscope at least, like, I find it like almost maddening looking at them. Kind of like trying to check out Pluribus here. I'm hoping it's just this, just one or two of these mint cellos are like this. It's like right under the L on the bottom is definitely a place we want to look. There were quite a few double dies that were easily spottable right there. Okay, this mint cello definitely looks a lot better. Hey, metal detecting with Austin Simpson. Welcome. How was your night going? We're just, we went through this roll looking at this one, and the coins in it look pretty nice. Now we're just going to go through and see if we can find perhaps any varieties, which it kind of looked like the first coin that we looked at up close was a double die. I'm just trying to look at the rest here and get a feel and make sure that it's not something common for the year, but it didn't look like machine damage. It looked like there was notching on pretty much every single letter on the reverse, which, you know, sometimes I'll see doubling or machine damage, but I don't think I've ever seen the machine damage look like notching before. You know, kind of like that on this corner, but stronger. But I believe I'm used to seeing it on on that letter there. I believe it's a common thing. But we're just kind of taking our time here tonight going through these because there were quite a few different ones we could find. And it's like, I feel like from looking through things, it was kind of interesting. The date wasn't even a place you really needed to look, and maybe I missed some that are on the date, but it seemed like most of the double dies weren't even on the date, which is kind of always where I like to look. Hopefully everybody's doing pretty good. I believe I have everyone pretty much mesmerized by the coins here tonight. It's just me. Does the top left corner of these look a little, they kind of almost look like they have a little bit of a notch on them. I feel like if there is, it'll get a little bit, yeah, if you look at the S on the top serif and the bottom serif, if I can get the light off the top one, I think that both the top and bottom are split. This one's kind of exactly like the first one, which kind of always makes me suspicious when we're finding a bunch of them or more than one. Look at the F. Look at the corner of the F there. It's like you can clearly see like a notch going straight down it. And I think America here will be really good too. I mean, if that's not a notch on the corner of like everything, I really don't know what is. Hey, Haruna Mapini. Where are you from? Nice notch on the bottom here. You have a 1962 and a 64 cent. If you have like a very, very valuable one, I would say put it up on eBay. It would be the place I'd recommend to sell it. If it's something that's raw, I mean, even like these ones here that are raw but in mint cellos and in really good condition, it can be, you know, very hard. You know, it's a coin of this year, a proof one. It could be, you know, an MS67 and go for like 10 bucks. It could be a 68, go for like 15 bucks. It could be a 69, go for like 40 bucks. But it's like it takes a professional grader like taking a while to grade it. Tanzania, yeah, I would believe, my friend, if you were to ship them to me from Tanzania, you would probably spend more on postage than you could sell the coin for. At least the last penny that I sent internationally, I believed it was like $12. And it would have to be a very, very, very nice coin to begin with. I think you would probably have better luck, my friend. You know, I mean, without seeing the coin, maybe it's the nicest penny in the world. But yeah, it's hard to say, friend. It's, if you have something like eBay, I would say the best thing in Tanzania to do would be to post it there. You know, put a free listing of your coin up. Take the best photo that you can of the front and back. Don't touch the coin with your hands if possible, if it's a high grade coin. And don't clean it. When you clean it, you know, it's like all the beautiful shininess on this coin here. If you clean this coin, that would all go away. And the oils from your finger start to turn it brown. A different focal length, I feel like, than the rest of the coin. We'll see. I think it's also a slightly smaller font here, so it's like harder to zoom in. I'm gonna move it. I found it, it's funny that like this little L part right here is like a great place to look for the double dies. But it's in the shadow and the mint cellos just kind of get dark in it. Hey, 710 is oil upside down. Welcome. Hope you're having a great night. Looks like we found possibly 2 varieties here already. Both appear to be the same on the reverse, just pretty much doubling, notching, pretty much on every device on the reverse. Excuse me. But I am a little bit suspicious at how we found 2, like the first 2 out of 5 coins. Aruna, I do have a Facebook. If you look in the description below the video, there is a Facebook which allows me to receive photos from random people all over the world. And there is also Instagram. Both of those you should be able to use to send photos if you wish. I don't check them hourly. It's usually about every day or so I get to go and check them. But I do check out the photos there. If you have something like eBay, you can always post them up there, and I can take a look at them if you send a link. But I do check links, so if you send any funny links, I will not be checking the link because my computer will tell me it's a funny link. Not saying you would, friend. It wouldn't be the first time, though, is all I meant. People like to send people on YouTube lots of interesting things. Here in the coin community, it seems much more civilized. When I was streaming, playing video games, it was like a relentless barrage of, like, let's just say stuff. It's like I felt kind of like I was seeing some doubling on the last coin we just looked at, but it felt more like machine damage rather than, like, I feel like maybe I'm starting to get better at like seeing coins that are actually double dies rather than are just damaged. I like to think that for a few minutes here, but we'll keep going through. Maybe it's just another kind of machine damage, and wow, this one's so much clearer to look through. You gotta appreciate the coins in a nice clear mint cello when you got them. Okay. I will, since it's usually kind of late, I'll try to make a mental note here and check those photos, Haruna. Um, I believe you said a 62 and a 64. Um, Different things you can check on them. You know, the 64 that we're looking at tonight here, it's a proof coin. Um, but for 1964, you pretty much had two other options as well. There's a business strike coin that is a Philadelphia and one that is a Denver mint mark. The Philadelphia will have no mint mark on it. The Philadelphia didn't put mint marks on them in 1964, and the Denver one. So if you have a D underneath the date, that would mean that it's a business strike coin, and it's from the Denver Mint. Same thing with the 1962. And so if the coins have any obvious damage on them, you know, if there's, you know, like a big scratch on them, they're essentially going to be worth a penny. Um, Technically, they're worth about 2 pennies due to the amount of copper that are in them. Pretty much a pound of pennies weighs, a pound of pennies is about 150 pennies. But a pound of copper is, I didn't check what it was. For a while there, it was like $3 a pound. But having a penny, a copper penny, a pre-1982 penny, is usually worth about double its face value. But if there's a bunch of damage on the coin, they're probably not worth anything. They're probably worth about a penny. Just they made so many of them. No mint mark. So you're probably dealing with a Philadelphia mint coin then. And so then you basically, Philadelphia made 2 different coins. One of them was a business strike for that year, and one of them was a proof like this. And so, like, you know, the proof ones here, this one's still in a set, but see if I can, they're pretty much like just super, super, super crazy blingy. You know, that they're so bright in here that they pretty much almost look like gold. I think we're on the reverse here. But the proof coins are much, much sharper. You won't find like a scratch on them until they've been scratched, of course, but from the mint, they'll pretty much look brand new. But like this one, maybe it's just the light here. It almost looked like there was like kind of like steps on some of the coins. I think it's just the lighting. And my guess is it would probably be more of a worn dye than anything. It's like, I don't think I've ever found, when there's like the little thing underneath the L, I don't think I've ever found one of those in all the rolls we've gone through. So we have found, you know, for the 1970s, you know, the 1970 P double dies, we found the little piece that's above the 7. It just seems like, it always makes me like wonder why we haven't found it. It looks like there's a little bit of toning on this coin. gosh, finding the double die mint mark there. I need to get a new microscope for that, for sure. We just need to get a little bit closer. I think when we do find a double die on the E pluribus there, or doubling on it, I think it's going to be pretty clear. Just got to find one first. It's like one of the crazy things too is there's still double dies and errors and stuff that people haven't found. And it's like I find stuff all the time, and then I go to look, and it's like nobody's recorded them, so I just kind of give up, and I'm like, oh well, someone else would have found them by now. You know, these coins are 50 years old. But sometimes it makes me wonder if, you know, I should be, you know, documenting them better and like taking better photos and just sending everything to somebody, you know, who knows better than I am. I mean, I guess if we're making these videos and stuff of the coins, you know, people can, if people see something, they can be like, hey, what's this? And maybe we can figure it out. The thing that amazes me too, it's like, say this is like, you know, one roll, it's like 50 coins. And it's like, I've been sitting here looking at 50 coins for an hour. And we're not even, you know, I think we're like not even 10 coins into, you know, we looked at the front and back of them all first. But it's like, we're not even a quarter of the way through looking at all these up close, and it's like, I don't know, for like half of us it's like, you know, what's the grade of the coin? Then for the other half of us it's like, you know, well, what are there any varieties in there? But I guess this is a reason why if you find something, you know, people spend a long time looking through these coins to be able to find something. And so this one has like a different kind of doubling on it. This may be machine doubling, but if you look inside the U and the N so far, but it's like, while the first one was, you know, it's like this one I'm thinking might be like kind of machine damage. And it looks pretty good, but I'm guessing that all this is like kind of like way lower. It's like I'd like to see some notching. But it's like, I feel like this is way more what I'm used to finding as far as finding something and thinking, oh, that looks doubled. While the first coins that we were finding here like really, really, really looked doubled. Let's take a look up here again. I'll put this one aside just so I can have an example. Like, I feel like when we look at a bunch of these, it's like I end up like finding kind of, like ones, like a bunch of ones that are similar to each other. Like the first two ones that looked cool were very similar to each other, and so I'm imagining we will probably find one or two or three that looked about like the one that we just saw in the last coin. I know some of these cellos are hard to look through. Yeah, this cello does not want to get along very well at all. It's kind of interesting. Like, I feel like the mint cellos sometimes, like, it's like they're keeping some varieties out there to be found. It's like until somebody's like, willing to cut the mint cello open. And it's interesting too how the Liberty are there. I feel like wherever Liberty is, it's always like the cello is way worse. And I don't know why that part of the mint cello is always like worse than the rest of the coin. It's like looking through this roll is like reminding me of all the things that we found on all the other rolls. It's like I feel like whenever I would go through these, I'd start to get like really excited. But I'd say those first couple of coins that we found in this roll were exciting. I felt like the notchings on them were really, really clear. I think after this coin here, I'm gonna just duck over onto eBay for 1 second. I was going back and forth with a couple people over a couple coins, and I just want to make sure that I'm not leaving anybody waiting on an offer. So it should just take me 1 second as soon as we go through this one, but I just like to let you guys know what I'm doing. we're good. It's like before I started streaming, I was always on eBay, and if somebody was wanting something or a reply, I was able to like pretty much instantaneously answer them back. And since I started streaming, I'll all of a sudden be gone for a couple hours, and I don't think anybody's used to it. I'm not used to it. Still getting used to it. I think that looked like the focus was a little bit better. Just kind of looked like there was almost like tripling. I think we'll see some sort of notching on something if it is. Sometimes it just feels like the light's playing tricks. Alright, I'm lost. Let's go back up here at the top. Turn it upside down, see what it looks like that way. But I think you guys can see what kind of looked kind of like tripled there. It's like there's just a couple lines in the D there. I guess it kind of looks the same on the E there as well, and the T. My guess is it's more of like a machine damage. It does look pretty cool though. We should put that in a stack of interesting ones. And here's one of the ones from the beginning that looked like, for anyone who wasn't here in the beginning, like these ones. It's like if you look at the F there, it's like really notched. It's funny, the M there almost looks less notched, but the E looks like it's got a nice notch. The R looks like a notch. The I has a notch. Like the end of the C there. It's like a little mouth. So that was one of the ones that like definitely looked, and then this was the other one. I feel like the I and the T kind of start to lose a little bit. But I think with the S in states, all of a sudden the top and bottom serif are notched. The T is notched. The S is super notched up there, and then like the F and the M and the E. And probably this I will be really nice here. And so like to me that looks like, you know, like a nice double die. I don't know which one it is. But it, you know, like one of the ones that we had just looked at before, while it kind of looked like there was like doubling, tripling going on, I think that that is probably more damage. While the ones with notching on them, that's not usually how damage happens. That's usually how a double die happens. Maybe they're both double dies, maybe they're different kinds. But I feel like the ones with notching on them have a lot stronger case. So definitely when we're done looking through here, those are the ones that I'm going to try to find and see what they could be. Maybe go start from this side and work back. I feel like when I like look at coin after coin after coin in the same direction going around in a circle, kind of makes me dizzy. I'm secretly trying to hypnotize you guys. You will click on the link in the description below the video. You will go to eBay. You will place 40 items in your shopping cart. And then you will go to swagbucks.com and register there so that you get an additional 1% on your 39 items you check out. You will leave positive feedback on all your purchases. It's funny, like when I used to coin roll hunt, it was silent. Like maybe if I was lucky before like I started, I'd like put on some good music. And but it's like since I started like streaming, it's like I actually like talk while I coin roll hunt. That's totally different to me. So it's like this. It's probably machine damage, but it's like if you like see kind of on the bottoms of all the coins or everything, you know, there's a little bit under the B and the I. This is something I probably would have seen even 6 months ago and probably thought, oh, maybe it's a kind of double die. I don't think it is. We'll see if we can find any more. Like the N here almost looks like there's a little bit to the west side of it. Which sometimes I feel like when I see stuff like that on the front of the coin, I feel like I will see stuff like that on the reverse as well. The reverse is just looking like a pretty nicely struck coin here. What's funny is like I feel like I used to go through these like so much faster. And now it's kind of like why I almost wonder like how I went through. It's like, yeah, I can whiz around the coin in a circle really fast. But what is the purpose of it? It's like if I'm gonna take the time to like take each one out and look at it and look for different things, it's like I might as well check it all out. I mean, on some ones where there's, you know, no known varieties on like the reverse, it definitely seemed like it made more sense to not check out the reverse because the chances of me finding something were not too great. But at the same time, it's like, wouldn't you want to be the first person to discover? Like, it's like, seems like pretty much every year the mint has messed up with something, or like just something happened. So it's like, I feel like the odds are that there are, you know, things on every date. Someone just needs to find them. And like, you know, some of these, it's like, you know, people find stuff and there's not that many known examples of them. So why isn't it reasonable to think that something that nobody has found can be found? I almost kind of wonder though, like, how many people have looked through these mint Cellos? Like, it's like I always wonder when I buy them from someone else, because I generally buy them in stacks of 50. I buy like 50 mint Cello wheat pennies or memorial cents, like all together. And so somebody collected enough mint sets or collected enough mint Cellos to be able to sell them all off in one lot. And so they, you know, must have either really liked these coins, or they were the ones that they didn't want. They just want, you know, it's like in one part of me thinks that like somebody like bought a bunch of mint sets, cut them up to get all the silver graded, and then the other part of me thinks that they just really loved Lincolns and they saved all the Lincolns. We may never know. How's everybody doing out there tonight? You guys see anything I haven't seen? How was the world and all in your parts of the world? If you guys have any tips or tricks that you guys use, I'm happy to listen to what you guys do. If any of you guys are, watching this in the future, after we stream here, these videos become videos on YouTube, and so they're going to be here for a while. Hopefully anybody watching in the future will have tips, and you guys can help me out and everybody else out. Tell me what you guys look for. That would be very helpful, because I look at a lot of coins, and the more I know, the more I can share, and the more we can all find together. And hopefully we can find some awesome coins, because it's fun. Makes my heart go all happy. Looks like the Hunger Games canon is back in town. I feel like it had been a few weeks since I heard a big boom, and then I'd finally just taken for granted that about every 30 minutes at night something was gonna explode. It's been rather calm. So it's I have a ton more mint Cellos, so it'll be interesting. I can't remember if I believe I have more 1964 proofs. I'll have to see. I know I do have a roll of Philadelphia and a roll of Denver. So maybe we will be looking at one of those tomorrow. I feel like what I have more of anything is rolls of proof wheat cents. Those are what I have the most of right now. So I felt like I saw, just all of a sudden I saw a notch on something, and I'm having a lot of trouble. Maybe I should refocus here. I don't know, on that eye, I feel like there's a line. I felt like I saw it somewhere else too, but it's not as strong as the other one that we saw. No, the E kind of looks like it, or the F kind of looks like it has a notch there. I don't know, I don't think we ended up seeing the whole thing. I felt like I really had to push to see those ones too. Eves. Let's check the Claribus. It's like this mint cello is just super fuzzy. I'll keep on moving. See if it's better on this side. I'm lost in coin land, sorry guys. It's like I'm concentrating so hard at trying to like hold things focused for you guys, I forget to talk. I'm having a good time though. It's like some of the cellos here are just like really difficult to look through. At least once we're looking at them up close like this. I felt like most of these ones looked really nice. Most of the mint cellos were really nice when we were looking through them. Or I'm sorry, most of the coins looked really nice. So this one looks like it's got a little bit. Is it really just gonna? It's like if you look kind of underneath the I and the B and the E, there almost looks like there's a little bit of something. I'm guessing it's machine damage. Machine doubling, which is essentially machine damage. Looks like there's a little bit up here as well. And I guess I'm curious too if there's any places you guys think are not worth checking on these. I'm curious. It's like it definitely feels like the L in Liberty is like definitely always worth it, because if there is a double die, you'll be able to see the little piece underneath there. The mint mark or the date, I feel like I didn't see any double dies on anything. I'm not even sure if there was any that were in God We Trust, or if I should just be flipping to the reverse immediately. But I feel like I saw, strong doubling in some of the United States, and then in the pluribus there looked like there was some strong doubling. And then I think there was an N down at the bottom that also had some nice doubling in it. And I think that was everything for all the different, oh yeah, there was the initials, but it's like, look at the initials when we try to look at them. I've tried to do this before, like, I don't think I could honestly tell if they were actually truly doubled or not by looking there. And sometimes when we're down here on E pluribus unum, the mint cello is just really, 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 really harsh on them. Hopefully we find some more really interesting coins here. I feel like we've already found like 5 or 6 coins in this roll that I would like to take closer looks at and try to figure out what they are. I think that any double dies in these liberties are safe until someone takes them out of the mint cello, which won't be me. Somebody wants to see the coin. That's the thing I wonder too, is like how much easier it is to spot varieties if you just cut them all out. But for me, I'd rather have them in mint cello. Even if it was a variety, I'd rather have them all nice and safe in there. And the R and the B and the S kind of look interesting here. Sometimes the mint cellos make it look like the coin is like underwater. I guess that's one thing too. I feel like I'm just realizing when I used to do the show, when the mint cellos, I feel like we would look at them like like one level out, and then we'd only go in this close when we actually thought we saw something. And I think that made it a lot faster. But at the same time, we're probably seeing a lot more of the coins this way. And at least we're not spending a bunch of time zooming in, zooming out, zooming in. Alright, let's zoom in. And zoom out. And zoom in. And zoom out. I guess I didn't even realize, because normally I feel like when I do this show with a roll of Cellos, it's about an hour long, and I feel like we're already like almost at 2 hours. But I see quite a few of you guys watching, so maybe you're liking it. I hope so anyway. But if you guys would like me to zoom out a little bit so that we go faster, if anyone wants that, say in the chat, zoom out. Let's move through these a little bit faster. And if anybody likes the level that we are going at, just say keep going like this in the chat, and we'll keep at this level in the. So I'll let you guys pick how we do this. Looks like there's a little bit of machine doubling going on with this one. Swimming. We're swimming in cello, everybody. I'd like to be able to see. I feel like there was one that had like a doubled on the end of the R like that. Well, both works for me. I just didn't know if I was moving too slowly through these coins for people. And so if you guys are all happy, I am happy. Well, let me focus here. No idea why I have to move my head out of the screen to focus this camera, but it is what it is. Interesting how focused everything is for a minute, and then it's not. It seems like the cello, you know, it's not all one level. It's kind of like lifts up higher in some areas and lower down in other areas. It's like some cello damage there. I was like, what is that? Well, let's try zooming out a little bit. Hey, Amy Bach. No 98, 99, or 2000 wide AM sense. Not tonight. Welcome to the channel. So let's try just a little bit less here. My guess is that this will be quite a bit faster, and if anybody sees anything that looks interesting to them, you know, feel free to say something, please. And some stuff will kind of look like shadows. You found a 2000 WAM today? Awesome. Yeah, I had some, like I pretty much got to go through all my newer Cellos a couple months ago. And so pretty much I have like 1964 and before right now. I guess that's why I said 1964 and before. I still haven't found any of the wide AM varieties. I've looked, but not seriously, and it seems like I've been reading about people finding some really nice coins, so it might be worth doing. I think I heard someone had found like a $10,000 coin. I think Blue Sandy was saying something about that someone found a $10,000 AM. That definitely seems like it makes it worth searching. I don't know, the lettering up on the top there kind of looked doubled. Maybe we'll take a look at that, but I believe it's just machine damage. I don't see any notches in it. So we'll keep on moving. Nice. What condition was the first one you found in, do you think? I've zoomed all the way in again. I must like it. It was in rough shape. It's interesting how many like cool coins you can find in rough shape. It's like, I feel like that's one of the reasons I've been trying to look for things in places where if I find something, it'll be a little bit better condition. You know, it's like if we find, something in a mint cello, chances are it's going to be, like if it's a proof, it's going to be like proof, 64, 65 or up. And if it's a business strike, it's probably going to be like mint state 63 or 64 up. It just seems like if you do stumble upon something, there's a lot better chance of it being a higher quality coin. Heavy machine doubling. Yeah, it definitely seems like most of the coins here we've been finding have been heavy machine damage. The first couple ones that we found looked like they were double dies, I think. They had notching in the corners of almost everything, which is what I would want to see rather than, kind of like a little bit of extra thickness here or there. But we'll take another look at them once we're done here. Like, I feel like the eye has been a good place. Like, it's like if you have like the corner of the eye taken out, I don't see any other reason for the eye to be missing the corner in kind of a square way. But I didn't realize too, like being less zoomed out, it's easier to see through these Cellos because we're not fighting the cello texture. Excuse me. Right, so I think we're actually starting to get down. I'm not sure, it's maybe like 10 or 12 left here. Then we can quickly go over the ones that I think might be something. I just don't know what they are. I did go and check out, coppercoins.com and Variety Vista. So it's like I have been trying to look for the things that I saw there. I think it's just the light. I just want to see this E up close. Maybe from a different angle. I think it's just still the way the light hits it. It just looked different. Okay, maybe some heavy machine doubling. I used to, unfortunately I put mine up on eBay for like double the price I paid for it, thinking like, hey, I'll put it up there, it'll be one more item in my store. It's sold. So whoops, made a mistake. I'll have to buy another one again. I've been using like coppercoins.com and Variety Vista. I usually try, when I'm going to do a solid date roll like this, I try to go and look at all the different, ones first. I don't know, what do you guys think? Does the F look like it has a notch in the corner there? M has a notch, the E has a notch. It's like I feel like this one is basically the same as the first two that I found. I feel like this one maybe things are a little bit rougher. I'll put that with the other two. But if you guys have an opinion of what you guys think that is, to me the only thing I feel like that would put a notch consistently in them like that would be like it being a double die. But however, I am still learning, and I will always probably still be learning. So I'd love to know why you guys think that that one and the other two is or is not a double die. And we're zoomed back in again, aren't we? So here we have, again, the S has a notch on the bottom, S has a notch up at the top. And then I think we're going to see that same, well, it does kind of look like there's a little bit of machine damage on this, but then we have the S has a notch on top and bottom, the F's got a huge notch up at the top. And then it looks like we will probably have, notching all the way. I don't know, so this one almost looks like it's like kind of like both, where, there was machine what looked like machine damage, but then there was also notching through it all. The E and E pluribus looks like it has a notch. Possibly the P, the L does. It's a 64. I think that this is the fourth one of these Super Silvermen. I think we found 4 of these now. Okay. Sweet. That's what I was feeling. Or maybe we'll find another, but that's, I think, the 4th one like that Super Silverman. We've definitely seen some, you know, machine doubling and different stuff, but that's the 4th one we've seen with notching pretty much in most of the United States of America. I guess maybe we'll just stay. It seems like we keep finding them, and I feel like I almost passed up the other one. I feel like I almost passed them up because we zoomed out. I don't know, part of me was just feeling like, okay, we're finding too many of these. And it kind of makes me think like, oh, okay, I just need to like learn why this isn't. The only thing I don't like about finding the DDRs is normally the idea with these is just to like make a video, look at coins, learn, and then I sell off all the coins. But then at the same time, if they are DDRs, like, or DDOs, like I wanna, you know, I would like to have some. I'd like to get some graded at some point. But I normally just leave these videos intact. We'll keep on looking here. How's your night going, Super Silverman? Yeah, whenever I'm doing these Mint Cello videos, I always hope that Super Silverman will come. Hold on, there I am. I always hope that he'll jump in here because he's always like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. But if you thought that that was a yes to that, then that was the 4th one. I made a pile of just those ones. And it was I think the very first coin we looked at was one of those too, so then it was kind of like, and then the 3rd coin was like that, and then we looked at a bunch of other ones. So I don't know, just sometimes I get under my microscope and I'm like, oh, that looks like one, and that looks like one, and that looks like one, and it makes me think that I need to like get glasses or something. Yeah, I know that there is something to look for in the initials there. I feel like my camera is just not quite good enough to do it. I feel like every time I go to the initials, I just kind of, you lurk as you hunt yourself. Yeah, this is, I don't know, I took a little break here doing, the other Coin Vault has opened episodes here for a little while. But I feel like after looking at so many machine damaged coins over the last month, I feel like I've been getting a little bit better. You know, it's like, you know, I see the machine damage really quick, but then it's like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm looking for something that's not machine damaged now. Because I realized how many machine damaged coins I had collected while looking through all the wheat pennies. And so now it's like, okay, you know, like look for all the notches. You know, Super Silverman kept saying, I don't know, I was looking at some of the values for the double dies for 64s, and on copper coins, some of them looked like they were going for quite a bit more, but I almost feel like the ones I have weren't exactly like the ones that were on there. So I'm gonna have to spend some time kind of looking. Like what I need to do now is basically become better at attributing what the double die is when I find one, and feel a little bit more like, I mean, I felt like what we were looking at was a double die, but I still felt like I couldn't 100% say it was a double die. I could say like I think that these are double dies and they look more like double dies than these ones that look machine damaged to me. Um, but I feel like my eye's getting better, but I still have more work to do. Yeah, that definitely sounds handy, Super Silverman. I was not aware of that specifically, that you could, you know, specify like show me only coins or show me only varieties that are found in mint sets. That sounds right up my alley, since my favorite place to search for varieties seems to be in mint sets. It's like, say, like the T here always throws me off because, you know, and I don't know if it's on every year, but I feel like that I always see that one there. And I'm like, oh. But it's like if I'm looking for things like that, and I know that I've seen 100 that don't have that on it, then it's like when I do see one, it makes me think, sometimes seeing that the L in Liberty is just a pain. Okay. Thank you, Super Silverman. That's super handy. Yeah, anytime you have knowledge to throw down, and that goes for anybody, anytime you guys have anything to share, please do. I am still trying to learn, and the more I learn, hopefully the more I can help other people. Hmm. I think that this one is probably just machine damage, and it's probably just the way the light is hitting it. The light's doing some funny things on this coin. I feel like a couple of these coins, there's just been like double, triple machine damage. Like didn't get damaged once, it got damaged more than twice. It does seem like there's a lot of mint sets. I mean, it's interesting too. Like I see so many of them, say on eBay for sale, and a lot of them go for like nothing. I mean, even reading and looking through Lincoln Sense, Chuck's book, like I want to say it was like 20 years ago. He's talking about like how some of the really common early 60s, that they're one of the best place to like look for cherry picking stuff, because the prices are basically so common, or there's so much stuff or so many coins that the prices. This is definitely the most machine damaged one we've looked at today. The doubling on it's kind of intense looking. I mean, I believe that this is machine doubling. Hey, William Bass Gaming, welcome. Good to see you. We found a couple double dies here tonight, so I think everybody is hopefully come and seen what they were looking for. It's interesting, like the F almost, instead of it being notched here, it almost looks like it kind of like hangs out. It almost seems like the tops of everything, and maybe that's more kind of how the machine damage works. And I feel like this is something that I would have been used to finding. It still looks really cool to me. But maybe it's like this is, where the machine damage is, that's like taken away from the thickness of it. It's kind of like scooped things out, and that's why it almost looks like the edges. It's just when I look at, say, all, the I and the R, the way they like kind of bend to the left or to the west, it makes it, I don't know. That one, I believe that's machine damage, but that one looked interesting to me, because I feel like most of the time when they're machine damage, they don't bend that way. I can't think of the right term, or at least I don't think it's like just, what would like a distorted hub doubling look like? I'm sure I'm probably saying the wrong one. But it's like, I feel like there's a kind of double die that makes everything kind of like bend to one side, or kind of like pulls things out. Good question. When I got monetized, I had already set up my AdSense account like probably like a year before I got monetized, because I had already had an AdSense account. So all of it was set up, and I had linked it just in case one day I magically got monetized or something. So it was all set. So the day that I hit 4,000 watch hours, I'm trying to think. From the day that I want to say it was like pending, and maybe took like, I will watch that, Super Silverman, thank you. I'll watch it on the big screen, on the projector, put the big show up on the projector, and I will learn my double dies. But I think to answer your question, William Boss Gaming, I believe it was 2 days. Um, I believe it was 2 days. Um, I feel like uh, I feel like after I hit 4,000, where the revenue area was, um, it all of a sudden turned into like a kind of gray, kind of like slashed column where it wasn't showing monetization, but it was showing that it was collecting information, but it wasn't on display. So I believe, like, say, like after you have all your AdSense stuff, when you're waiting to be approved, I'd say probably about 2 days. So you hit 4,000 hours, I'm pretty sure, because I went and checked out your site after you came on the other day at 3,999. So congrats, I haven't gotten to tell you in person, William, but great job. But I feel it wasn't that like about 5 days ago. Have you not have you not gotten monetized yet? I'm hoping you have anyway. Yeah, I need to go. I need to go watch Ken Peavy's double die class. I believe I have not watched him do it. I've watched a couple of them, and it's just I don't know. It's so weird because depending on what video you watch or what book or what website, it's like they'll use different double dies and like basically like every double die kind of there are like Chuck breaks them down into different classes of double dies. But it's like every double die kind of is unique, and everyone, some of them look similar to each other, but depending on which ones you learn from, you're probably going to learn to like see and identify others better. Yeah, Ken was pretty funny, and he was definitely like just endless knowledge. He had a big, beautiful brain. I barely got to check out his shows. He's the one that turned me on to most of the coin books and stuff that I have. And just like people like him, where like when you ask them for help, you ask them and say like, hey, what's that big book behind you? Like tell me more about it. Should I buy that? Is it helpful? And like just people that will actually like take the time and like listen to questions and give like thoughtful thoughtful answers. It's super helpful. Yeah, and I like how Ken breaks things down and also throws in some funny jokes in the middle of it all. Um, like I definitely cracked up, and I feel like a couple times while watching his show, I feel like he threw in commercials, but the commercials were jokes and stuff. Um, like I think like one time I was watching a show and he was like, "Hey everybody, we got sponsored. We got our first sponsored." So like everybody like click on this link, check out this product, and like I think it was a joke anyway, but they were like, "Yeah, this prune company, it's sponsoring us," and they're like, Why do you think they'd want to be on like a coin channel? Why do you think they would want to show him? But I get paid $1 every time you guys click on a prune ad. Um, I don't know. Yeah, the prunes. Some prunes sound good right now. But this whole roll here were some pretty nice looking coins. So I'm pretty psyched if there are some double dies in here because almost every single one looked beautiful. Or Risers MS70 Plus. Well, that sounds like a nice coin. Was that one of the jokes he did? I don't think I saw that one, but I could kind of see how that one could get turned into a joke. Oh no, there's like a notch in the E. Notch in the R, notch in the I. I feel like I wasn't seeing it in the beginning of the coin. Maybe we'll double back because it almost looked like a little bit different. Like I don't feel like I saw it in the S. Maybe I can see it, but it's like me saying I think it's an RPM. Maybe it's just a different kind. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't see the notch in the S. I feel like we found a couple other ones that I did. But that, I don't know, it's not looking as impressive, but I definitely see like a notch in the F and the R and the I there. And I feel like the C splits as well. So that one kind of looks like the other four, but that one looks a little bit different. Like the S's really did not look split in that last one there. It's kind of hilarious. I thought that this roll, I guess hilarious is debatable, but I thought this roll was going to be like a 50, 60 minute roll. I never would have expected that I would be like pretty much 2.5 hours into this. But at the same time, it looks like this was a very productive roll, so awesome. We'll skip the S for a second. It's interesting how different one coin is like perfectly aligned, and then you do another one and it's like totally impossible to see. I'm not seeing any notching though, even though we're not able to focus here perfectly. Then everything looks doubled when I look another way. So I don't think this is one. We will take a look at the ones that I felt good at. Is that? Hold on, now I'm like, wait, did we look at this one? Nice looking mint cello. Oh, is this the one that was like elongated on the bottom? Wow, that totally changed. no idea why this one's like impossible. Okay. Yeah, I think we might have already looked at these two here. Okay, yeah, this was the one that had just really excessive machine doubling on it. So that one looks kind of cool, but I don't think it's anything. And then this one, I think, is maybe the one that is this the one that everything kind of like, no? Okay, so this one's got notching on like half, and it's got a split in the C. So I believe all these other ones were on the reverse. Okay, so not that one. So this is the one that had notches on the top, but also kind of looked doubled. Dun, dun, dun. This one looks like it has a notch on the bottom and the top of the S. And it's got a pretty nice notch up at the top of the F here. And I believe it pretty much extends on everything. Not quite as strong on the C. Gosh, how many of these ones with the notches on it did we find in this roll though? So the S has some pretty nice clear notching on the bottom and top serif. And then I think starting about the E, the S has, you know, really nice split serif on the bottom, and then the F and the M and the E, and the A to the I. The I unfortunately is not very visible here. But yeah, it seems like they're, like, I guess the thing that like just makes me scratch my head is like, why are there so many double dies in one roll? Or it's like, are some of these double dies and some of them aren't? But I don't know, tomorrow when I haven't been staring under a loop for hours and hours and hours, I will have to, you know, go and look at this one again. So this one just looked interesting because it almost looked like there were like 3 layers. You know, normally when something has machine damage, there is just like, you know, 2. but I guess I can do 3 just as easy. So that one didn't look like it had notching. Maybe this one didn't have notching either. Maybe this was just kind of the machine damage doubling. Oh yeah, no, this was the one that like it almost like went. Everything just kind of like gets distorted to the west a little bit on the tops. Alright, so let's zoom out. You assume certain bins are dedicated to mint sets, which is why the 70s RPM is a thing, that 1970S is a thing, 1970S RPM is a thing that can only be found in mint sets as well as other. Yeah, maybe, or maybe starting, yeah, no, that's a good question right there. So let's see, show you guys the examples of these. We'll just do these a little bit faster here because I'm going to need to get some sleep. Turn the light off, I think. But this is, you know, zoom in a little bit. Hey, Paul Hampton. So it looks like you may have to replay because we just looked at them again. But it looks like these 5 coins here that we have, there seemed like there was some super nice notching in the reverse. So this is one of them here. And all of these, when I looked at the coins in the beginning of the show, they all looked really, really, really nice. But welcome. The bins that are in at the end of the conveyors after being stamped by the die. And so this is the second one here. And so I mean, if these are double die reverses, they definitely seem like they're nice, high quality. So like a little, maybe there's a little tiny spot on the memorial there, just kind of hiding in the shadows there. But yeah, these look like they're pretty nice. I'll have to go and check out just, yeah, I'm going to need to look up what ones these are because I'm interested. I mean, if there's enough value in the DDR, it seems like they would be worth sending off to get graded. Because they're really nice coins. I guess to get it attributed to it costs even more money. So those were the ones that definitely looked like. So here we can, just in case you're wanting to go back and see, Paul, this is and so like if you look at the I here, the C split, the R has a notch, the E has a notch, and then it's the F, I feel like on most of them had a pretty nice, I think this is the one that didn't, and then I think this is the S that was not split, but all the other, here let me grab the other ones, because I believe all the other ones had really strong split S's. And then like the F just had like nice notches. The M has it, the E has it, the R has it, the I, and then the C's on most of them are split and not on all of them. but there was a couple spots on the coins in the roll, but for the most part, the roll was a really nice roll. But unfortunately, my friends, I'm gonna have to. I thought tonight's show was gonna be an hour, and I'm an hour and a half past what I expected to be doing here tonight. But on the bright side is, I think I have about 30 more proof rolls going 1964 back. So we're going to be doing those for a little while. Sad news is every time I keep trying to buy proof rolls, I'm getting like triple outbid my normal price. Maybe it's because I've been making these shows here and people are starting to buy them, but I haven't been able to buy anything new. This is the newest roll that I got, and this was like from like 2 weeks ago, I think. But fortunately, I do have a lot of them that I bought. So we have pretty much from 1956 to 1964, and I do have some business strike 63s and 64s, I think, too. Well, there was just a bunch of them in there, Paul, and Super Silverman has been very helpful over the last couple months and just keeps pointing out. And I did try to look at copper coins and stuff before. I tried to do some homework before I did the show tonight. So hopefully it's everything coming together, and hopefully I can find more cool coins for you guys. But I feel like most of the good coins there, if you don't wanna have to watch the whole show, which they are some really nice coins, but pretty much the last 5-10 minutes there, I think that we went over most of the stuff that we found. But definitely some cool coins. Thank you, Super Silverman. Thank you, Paul Hampton, for being here tonight. Thank you guys. Thank you, William Voss Gaming, for being here tonight, and congrats on hitting your 4K. Awesome job, and I hope that I didn't hear if you said that they had monetized or if you were just asking how long it took, but hopefully you are monetized and making money while playing video games, because that is an awesome dream. But thank you, Logan's Coins, for being here tonight. Thank you, Blue Sandy, for being here tonight. Thank you, Meadow Detecting with Austin Simpson, for being here tonight. Thank you, Numismatic Sam, for being here tonight. And thank you, 710 is Oil Upside Down. Thanks for being here. Hope to see you again. And thank you, Haruna Mapini, for being here tonight. I will check for those photos that you sent of the 62 and 64. Thank you, Amy Bach, for being here tonight. I hope to see you again in the future. Yeah, good night, Super Silverman. Hope to see you guys all in the future. Good night, Paul. To many more awesome coins being found, and see you guys all in the future. Thanks so much for watching.